I'd like to show you how I do Jeny's surprisingly stretchy bind off using a crochet hook. Now I'm using a sample that I created from another demo just to show you. Here on the purple side, just to show you the effect of it, I've attached some white yarn so that you could see the effect of the Jeny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. And essentially what it is in crochet it is a half double crochet. So when you're doing a bind off of a knit stitch, which are all the stitches that I see here, you're doing a yarn over before you do the knit stitch. So I'm using a crochet hook to show you how that works. So basically the first stitch is done. Half double crochets a yarn over, go into the stitch and pull through, and that is the equivalent of doing it with a knitting needle. So let's do it one more time. So it's a yarn over, into the stitch, pull your yarn through, and come through for a bind off. Now I'll show you what that looks like using a knitting needle. So what you would do is a yarn over before you knit your stitch, and then you would have to bring the two stitches over. So this is how you would do it with a knitting needle. Again, a yarn over, knit your stitch, pull your stitch over, and that would be the bind off. Now I'll show you the same thing again with the crochet hook in the form of a half double crochet. So you've got your crochet hook, you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and you're going to pull that loop through the two loops, and that's a half double crochet. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull your loop through the two loops. And to help you pull your loop through the two loops, what you can also do is yarn over, pull up a loop, take your knitting needle, and just create a little bit of space before you pull your loop through. And that is Jeny's surprisingly stretchy bind off using a crochet hook. Here's what it looks like, and on the back. You can't really tell the difference between my crochet hook and my knitting needle. Personally, I find when I use a crochet hook that my loops are more uniform than when I use a knitting needle and I'm pulling the yarn over, which seems, in my opinion, to distort some of the stitches. Hope you enjoyed this demo. I'd like to demo how I use Jeny's surprisingly stretchy bind off to bind off my hubby's socks here, which I knitted two at the same time on one circular Chagu red lace interchangeable needle, actually the smallest size they have. I've already done most of one of the socks, and I'm just coming around to finishing off the first one, and I'm using a crochet hook. So what you need to know, or the way I understand the bind off, is depending on which stitch you're binding off, that is how you're going to do your yarn over. So I'm now presented with a purl stitch, so it's a regular yarn over, and I do a double yarn over, go into the purl stitch and pull through. Another purl stitch. This is a 3x3 rib that I'm doing, and pull through. again. And pull through. Now I'm coming up to a knit stitch, and a knit stitch is a reverse yarn over. It's also a half double crochet. So basically you're doing a reverse yarn over, knit your stitch or pull up a loop, and then you're going to pull that loop through the 2 stitches to bind off. So again, reverse yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through your 2 stitches, and yarn off. Now I'm left with 1 stitch for this particular sock, which I'm going to finish off later. So I'm just going to pull that out. So the first sock is done. I'm going to show you a close-up of the stretchy bind off. I hope you can see it. And this one was done with the crochet hook. Can you see the way it looks? So this is Jeny's surprisingly stretchy bind off using a crochet hook. Thanks for watching.